This is the second in our short series of International Women's Day episodes. It's with one of my all-time favourite guests. Pip Jamieson was just our second ever episode. She's the sole female founder of The Dots, a creative platform for no-collar workers to connect with others to work on projects. She shares how she got over the fear of entrepreneurship, the lack of female mentors in the technology industry, and the importance of coaching and mentorship in business. The Dots has seen stellar growth throughout the pandemic period as the ways of work change. And it's an episode that I come back to again and again, and that's why we wanted to put it out there so that you can hear the best parts of it.
I think when it comes to entrepreneurship, and I'd recommend that as a career path for anyone who's listening right now, there's nothing more satisfying than coming up with that original idea and seeing it through. I think when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's like, just do it. The amount of people I meet that say, oh, I've got this brilliant idea, and are almost too scared to share that idea or just kind of jump in. I think it's really important. Funny enough, it's also, when you have an idea, bringing that community or those collaborators around you to bounce that idea off is really, really important. So I think it's made that first leap. Someone once said to me, oh, I had the idea for The Dots. And I kind of was like, but I did it. And so you just need to kind of do it.
And you only learn by doing, right? That's it. Because MySpace was the idea for Facebook before Facebook was, right? And it was execution of Facebook that made it happen, right?
Yeah. And I mean, the reality is I'm a non-tech founder who started a tech business. So I'm living proof that anyone can do it. You have to build an amazing tech team around you to be able to pull it off. But yeah, it's just kind of go and do it. But I think also it's getting over the fear is, I think, what's been sort of hardest for me and with a number of entrepreneurs I mentor. There's that innate fear of failure, like, what if I do this and it doesn't work? And I think the moment I suddenly looked at that fear in a different way and I was like, okay, the people I love most in my life, if this failed, would they still love me? And of course they would. They'd be so happy I gave it a shot. So, I just flipped that fear on the head and went, well, if people were, said, oh, she failed, well, they're not nice people. So once I got the failure out the way, or the fear of failure out the way, that's when kind of things get really exciting, because then you just say yes to stuff and explore it and go for it.
And how did you go about sort of finding mentors and so on? Because you talked a lot about building a team around you, and this stuff is hard. Where did you go in the early days for kind of mentor inspiration?
Yeah, okay. In the early days, I was desperate to have female tech mentors, right? Which is really hard. So to put it into context, I'm a sole female founder. Only 9% of angel funding, which is like that first round, goes to female entrepreneurs. At my level, who've raised like 5 million or above, it's only 2.3%. So there just aren't that many around. So I was sending these emails to, Martha Lane Fox, who is, the co-founder of lastminute.com, and Sherry Kutu, and going, oh, really, I'm a female entrepreneur. I'd love you to be my mentor. And I got absolutely nothing back. And I was like, oh my God, how rude. I'm a female founder. You should be supporting. And then suddenly what I realized is I get about 60 emails a week now from founders wanting my support. And it's just physically impossible for me to support everyone. And the problem is there's just so few women at the top. So I changed tact and I went, right, I'm going to go after the best founders or tech people in tech I know who are men who have daughters. And then everything changed. And then suddenly I was kind of punching way above my weight in terms of the mentors I was getting. So amazing people like Ben Grohl, who was a partner at Atomica and was a part of the original growth team at Facebook, who was suddenly wanting to see positive change in the industry and supporting me. So I now have what I call probably a portfolio of mentors who advise on everything from raising investment to branding and design to tech to growth to anything I need. And I sort of draw on them, but they're primarily male, unfortunately.
Brilliant. That's such an inspiring kind of way to think about it, is that you don't just need an individual mentor, you need sort of a portfolio of people to help advise on different things.
I think portfolio is more important because I think when I was starting out, I was like, oh, there's going to be that one person who's going to solve all my problems. But the reality is the problems are so distinct. You know, it's like, I need to raise investment, I need to close a round, or I need to accelerate growth. And so someone is never an expert in all of that. So having a portfolio has been far more useful for different skills, but also far more useful because if you're going for really high class mentors, they're really busy. And so they don't necessarily have time to catch up with you every couple of weeks or every month. So what tends to happen with my mentors, if I have a problem and need help, I'll work intensively with them for a week and then I'll leave them in peace for a year. And that's a much more effective use of time. However, I do also have a coach, which is slightly different. So the distinction I see between mentorship and coach is mentors are kind of, they give me advice and my coach helps me find my inner voice, for want of a better word. So I have an amazing coach who's based out of the Valley who I chat to once a month to talk through ideas and help me find the solutions that I know exist.
Yeah, I mean, that's so interesting because, I mean, look, I've written in the Times about the importance of career coaching and it's this massive sort of growing industry. And you're right, it's much more of an American idea in terms of talking to someone about it, but it is growing here in the UK. What are the benefits of having a career coach in the long term?
I'm a self-founder, so it can be quite a lonely journey. I do have an incredible executive team who I'm very open with, but at the same time, I do value, I guess it is a bit like founder therapy, where you can just talk completely openly and just talk through challenges. Yeah, my coach is an amazing guy called Ren. You know, he was coached Marissa from Yahoo, Sheryl Sandberg. So, you know, he's been there and seen it. And I think what is so useful is he has coached so many senior people in tech. He's seen the patterns and so he can help release things. So, you know, that coaching could be advice on books I should read, or if I'm having a specific challenge, just talking it through and giving not necessarily advice, but more helping me find the solution that's already in me. It literally is therapy and I actually quite love it.